And I just do a turn here because I got a beautiful little Ferris wheel here behind me. I'm Marcel. I'm living in Russia. Welcome to another episode of The Trajectory. Some of that information relates to stories where Ukrainian forces and the official government is supporting troops on the front lines to take supplements and steroids to enhance their performance. Battlefield versus the strategic talks going on in Istanbul. What's going on in Istanbul vis-a-vis talks that are trying to achieve, I guess, what they call a lasting peace. Of 3 or 4 delegations, some kind of a summit that occurred with 4 parties in 3 different locations, and it seems to me it probably yielded 0 results. In the previous week, with the European leaders traveling to Ukraine on May 8th, absurdity of all the videos of Macron, Starmer, and the new German Prime Minister meeting in the train, and all the disinformation about the usage of things, of illegal substances there, talking about a bit of the balance of power that we are seeing out on the battlefield. From my informal perspective, what I see is Ukrainian army being completely exhausted and some really negative news coming out of the front lines back to regions like Bryansk, where I'm able to get a little bit of that information. Some of that information relates to stories where Ukrainian forces and the official government is supporting troops on the front lines to take supplements and steroids to enhance their performance while they're unable to do troop rotations and the exhaustion sets in. So with the promotion of supplements and drugs on the front lines, it will only further devastate the Ukrainian population in the long term. Significant psychological trauma, physical healthcare issues. And I speak to this as someone who, was a healthcare administrator in the Canadian Forces that supported exercises and troops. And so in my job as a healthcare administrator officer, and when I hear horrific accounts of, troops not being able to be rotated and they're forced to maintain the lines and extended period of times. I mean, any soldier will know that they've done exercises for significant amounts of time. The exhaustion wears in, but imagine real-time war where you're unable to be provided with breaks. It would be absolutely horrific. In the meantime, you got troops in the trenches and they're living this day-to-day exhaustion and horrible conditions, and you see the theater of absurd of the strategic politics from the Western world, pumping their chests and talking about having positions of strength when clearly they're not in a position of strength. It is so absurd. Yeah, pretty depressing talk on a Friday. That's why my show is called The Trajectory, because in all honesty, the reason why I came up with that idea is we just keep escalating over the past 3-4 years here, and it goes back way more than 4 years, to be honest. But just comparing life as it must be for those in the front lines versus those in the strategic political arena and the media that covers it all. It's just like so unrealistic, so detached from reality.